Welcome back to Mysteries Unfolding. Here is the first story. The dashcam footage from a truck captures the precise moment of an ambush. The video distinctly shows several individuals along the highway using a makeshift roadblock constructed from tree branches to compel drivers to halt. The perpetrators were a group of illegal immigrants, reportedly angered by the recent dismantling of a temporary camp they had established. Once the truck came to a stop, they proceeded to climb over the guardrail and hurled numerous sticks, rocks, and even pieces of concrete at the driver. Fortunately, the driver managed to navigate past the blockade, although he later stated that he feared for his life during the ordeal. He sustained multiple injuries from the objects thrown through his windshield, which ultimately necessitated medical treatment. This next segment of footage was recorded at 1:30 a.m. on a Sunday, capturing a car's journey along a deserted country road. As the vehicle nears an intersection, a man in a hood is visible standing in the center of the road with his head down. When the car draws nearer, the man is seen trying to step into its path, forcing the driver to brake. At that point, the man is heard yelling as he lunges at the car, which understandably prompts the driver to accelerate and quickly leave the scene. The driver later mentioned that following the incident, he desperately attempted to phone his wife, who was driving on the same road just a minute or so behind him, to warn her. Regrettably, he was not fast enough, and his wife had the exact same terrifying experience. To this day, the couple remains uncertain about the man's intentions, whether he aimed to rob them, steal their vehicles, or inflict harm in some other manner. This subsequent recording occurs on a dark, remote road. It begins uneventfully until the car navigates a curve, and an unusual figure dressed in a suit, carrying a briefcase and an umbrella, appears in the frame. Immediately after, a second, identical man is seen. The men then step back into the tall grass, where it suddenly becomes apparent that there are multiple men, all looking identical. They appear to have been startled by the vehicle, as if they were caught in the act. Abruptly, further down the road, another figure is spotted, this one brandishing a flare. It remains unknown what transpired next or what the driver truly saw that night, although many speculate that the driver had stumbled upon a cult engaged in some form of ritual. In this video, we see dashcam footage from a parked car on an October day in 2014. From the audio, it is evident that someone is inside the vehicle, as the sound of a window being rolled down is heard, followed by the driver commenting on how creepy something is. It then becomes clear what the driver is referring to. A man wearing a very unsettling mask is seen walking around the car. The driver reported that there were 5 other individuals wearing the same masks who were not in the camera's view. Despite this, the driver initially seems to perceive it as a prank, as she can be heard laughing. However, the situation turns serious when the masked men shatter one of the car's windows and proceed to rob the driver of her possessions, all while her horrified screams are audible.
Consumers are facing during the decline in the U.S. economy. The Internal Revenue Service may
Those are so creepy.
settlement for consumers and back.
Where'd you get it?
This may result in back taxes being reduced by thousands of dollars. An open phone line for the
Where did you get them?
tax helpline for
Come here.
consumers to call and see if you qualify for this
What are you doing?
to ensure your financial stability during this
Come
decline.
back in again with the car.
Take down this number now. 800-639-9690. That's 800-639-9690. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, there's no need to fear anymore. The IRS will be accepting reduced settlements.
This footage was captured in the middle of the night within a barren field in Saudi Arabia. Almost immediately, the viewer can see the driver slowly nearing a white figure in the distance, which appears to be leaning on a cane. As the video continues, the white figure begins to limp in the direction of the vehicle. A few seconds later, the driver's voice can be heard, filled with panic. As more time passes, the figure persists in its advance toward the driver. Now, clearly terrified, the driver is heard shouting commands at the figure, which roughly translate to "back up" and "get away from my car." Towards the end of the clip, the figure emits a shrieking sound aimed at the driver. The video is undeniably disturbing, and it is still a mystery what the driver actually managed to record on camera that night.
udah terus lucu 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 rata بقى reverse لقطة لقط لي على السيارة على السيارة Run! أبلغ! أبلغ! أبلغ!
This footage originates from the dashcam of a police cruiser. In the video, 3 officers are seen trying to provide aid to the occupants of a car that has stalled on the side of the road. As the scene unfolds, the officers suddenly look behind them, seemingly reacting to a sound. In the next moment, all of them frantically scramble to get out of the path of an approaching car traveling at an exceptionally high speed. The vehicle narrowly avoids the officers and skids to a halt further down the road. The driver of that car was identified as an intoxicated 26-year-old named Cedric Keith Henson Jr. While the parked vehicle sustained significant damage, thankfully, no one was injured in the incident. Back in 2016, a killer clown phenomenon swept across America for several months. This trend primarily involved numerous individuals dressing up in clown outfits. For many, the intent was merely to frighten people, but some took it further, committing robberies and even kidnappings. During this period in 2016, a family was driving home late at night in South Yorkshire when their dashcam recorded a clown emerging in front of their car. The clown initially just stood there, waving. After a few moments, it began sprinting towards the vehicle. The driver was forced to quickly reverse before finally driving forward, compelling the clown to move out of the way. This final video displays dashcam footage from a police cruiser in Texas. In the clip, the car ahead of the police vehicle is seen abruptly swerving and braking to miss an object on the road. As the cruiser approaches, the object is revealed to be a woman lying unconscious on the pavement. Fortunately, Sergeant Scott stopped to assist the woman by waking her and helping her to her feet. It was suspected that the woman had been intoxicated, had driven her car into a nearby ditch, and had then walked back onto the road only to pass out shortly after. The most frightening aspect is considering how many times she was nearly run over before Sergeant Scott intervened to help her.